Welcome to another video from Florida at the Voice of College Football. The Gators just got another huge commitment inside of the class of 2025. Something in March 31st is about to be April that you usually don't expect to happen. It did happen for the Gators. But before we get into this, I would like to tell you guys that our channel is now officially welcoming memberships. Something that you can do if you want to support us here at the Voice of College, Florida, the Voice of College Football. Not mandatory. We just welcome you to do it. We will be doing exclusive Florida Gators recruits film breakdowns on the membership-only videos. We will take recruits probably starting with the class of 2025, players that haven't made it onto campus, so we know what to expect from them when they reach campus in fall. But moving past that, the Gators, they got a huge commitment today. Just about an hour ago, Javari Flowers, four-star cornerback out of Miami Northwestern High School in Miami, Florida. Pretty popular high school or big-time high school out there in Miami. He ended up reclassifying on January 21st?
29th.
29th, sorry, yeah. January 29th, he reclassified. Top 100 player, 247 composite, has Javari Flowers ranked as the 82nd ranked player. Big-time prospect. That is now our second top 100 corner inside this class. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this commitment?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice way to cap off the class for Billy Napier. I mean, a class that we've talked about ad nauseum, dead in the water midway through the football season last year, revived sort of by the vote of confidence in Billy Napier and obviously the big wins down the stretch, the play of DJ Lagway, and now you've got what's became a top 7 class in the 2025 or class in the 2025 cycle. According to 247 Sports, Gators moved up one spot, jumping Auburn to number 7 with Javari Flowers on board. So, I mean, a really talented player. Like what I've seen from his film, he's exciting, great athlete. He's really fast, a track star. Probably going to play in the slot, and a position where we've talked about some questions, especially with the health of Aaron Gates. Position where Florida could maybe shore up the depth here, and he looks like a guy who maybe could contribute right away despite reclassifying.
Yeah, he was a Florida 3A state champion in the 100-meter dash in 2024. Also a part of a 4x400 squad that captured gold and a 4x100 team that took silver at the same meets. So we're talking about someone that has legit speed. I'm pretty sure one big part of him coming to Florida was there's a member of our track team that he played with or was friends with. Something that also helped the Gators land this commitment. Some other factors, his girlfriend goes to UF. So you take any advantage you can get. He is the cousin of former USF quarterback Quentin Flowers. He was one of my favorite players to watch, especially that 2017 season with Charlie Strong as a USF head coach. I mean, so he's coming from a football family. He has that football prowess there. That's hopefully going to carry him to be a really good player here at UF. You get into his film, you talk about his speed. Something that also shouts out to me is his ability to tackle. He's not scared to tackle. He's laying out big hits. One play specifically from that stood out to me. There was a fake punt because he's known for his punt returning as well. But on a fake punt, the other team, they go for it. They throw it. Javari Flowers obviously out back to return it. He runs up, lays out the receiver in that situation. I mean, he has the ability to go out there and tackle a really good speed, someone that fits perfectly there to play the slot.
Yeah, plays bigger than he is, I think, at 5'11" when you watch his film. Looks really good, man to man. Like, he's got the speed to stay step for step with anybody, and he has the ball skills to go up and either break up the pass or make a play on the ball. So a lot to like. And like you said with his tackling, like, not only is he a really willing tackler, but because of that speed, like his closing speed on some of these tackles is pretty crazy. They'll throw screens to pretty open guys in the backfield and he will erase that deficit, that gap instantaneously. And because of that speed, he actually gets some work on offense, it seems, sort of in a bit of a gimmicky fashion. Like, they kind of just have him run like reverses and stuff because he's so quick with that speed to the outside. But maybe something to watch there. Maybe a guy you can at least use in some fashion on offense. Probably could get on the field early, if not, as a slot guy, as a returner. I mean, he looks like he has real special teams ability. So versatile player, good athlete. I mean, obviously a little raw since he didn't play his senior season of high school, but a lot to like there. I mean, he looks like a pretty fit, like a pretty finished product. The guy can be pretty impactful.
Yeah, never say never, but I mean, we have a lot of speed still on offense. Take Hawkins, Trey Wilson, Ada Mizell. So I don't know if they would put him out there.
Yeah.
I mean, smaller frame. I mean, I think he's now up to 181. So he's 5'11", 181. 247 has him listed at 5'10 and a half, 165. So I'm pretty sure that is out of date. So, 5'11 plays bigger than his height. Another play on his film that really stuck out to me, he was in the slot. It looked like they were facing a team that was a bit more run heavy. So I also saw clips of him playing out wide at corner. So they played him in both spots. But he was in the slot on this play. The team, they ran a play action. He was on his slot receiver. There were two wide to the outside. He was in the slot, obviously. There was no other receiver on the other side. They had two tight ends, one on each side. And it's a play action, and it's a throw to the tight end on the opposite side of the field as he is. And the man that's on him just misses the play. He reads the play action, and he has a 10-yard start ahead of Javari Flowers. And this is at like the 25-yard line. So it's only 25 yards to the end zone. He's probably at the 15. Flowers is at like the 25. And Flowers is able to catch up to him and make a tackle at the 1. I mean, he's someone that's not going to give up on a play and has the speed that allows him to be able to make those crazy plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the closing speed outside. I mean, like, he really does have the ability, like, both, closing on a ball in the air, closing on a tackler in open space, like, just a lot to like. I mean, like, really active. And I mean, like, again, we'll see, if he's able to see the field early for Florida. I mean, I think maybe he needs to put on, like you said, I mean, up to 181 probably still could go to put on a little bit of muscle there, build up the frame a little bit, but almost to me reminds me of like a little bit shorter version of Cormani, maybe.
Ooh, I see it.
Yeah,
I mean, I see a little
bit.
What were
you gonna say? Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's not, they're not 1-to-1, and Cormani's obviously a guy that's going to play more on the outside for Florida, probably if he plays. Jawari Flowers plays a decent amount on the outside in high school. From what I saw, it looks like I'd say more often than not he plays on the outside.
I just think his size in the SEC would require him to play more slot.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really see him projecting as a guy you're playing on the outside in the SEC. But I mean, like, a guy that I think could really develop into a special player. And like I said, because of how much versatility he has and all the different ways he can contribute, it wouldn't shock me to see him find some sort of role this season, be it on special teams or whatnot.
Yeah. So back earlier after the early signing period, we graded the rooms. I told you wrong earlier. We graded the entire DB room because we only had one corner committed. So we didn't do corners. We had the DB room. You gave it a B+. I gave it an A-. Now, since then, the Gators have had two additions. Onis Konambani, low 4-star ranked corner, high upside guy. And now, obviously, Javari Flowers, top 100 corner, probably a slot. You gave it a B+. Do those two additions raise it up for you a little bit?
Yeah, they do. I think I'd probably give it an A- right now. I think I'd probably be sitting closer to an A-. And I think those are two really nice additions. And you've got, a guy that's like right on the cusp of being a 5-star in Ben Hanks. I would just say that that's the only thing that's missing here is an elite corner, a top 10 national player kind of guy, which Florida hasn't really gotten one of those in a while. So that's, I think, the only thing holding it back from being like an AA+ class. But I think a really nice DB haul, a corner and slot haul. Well, now slot, didn't have a slot commit previously, but yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to stick with A-. I mean, go to an A-. I gave it A- earlier. I do think I'm going to raise it up a bit. I'm going to go to an A because I do really like Ben Hanks, and he rose up the rankings probably another 20 spots from when we did make those. So he's closer to a 5-star than what he was previously. And then you add Onis, someone who has great length and size to play corner. And I mean, Ben Hanks rising up, and Javari Flowers now a slot player. I will give it an A. So I do think this is an A worthy. Only thing that could have made an A+ is a 5-star.
Yeah.
If Ben Hanks was a 5-star, what would you give it? If he was, or would it matter where is he's 32nd? What's your grade?
I'd say, I mean, I don't want to give it make it sound like I'm giving the star system too much credence.
That's
like
fair.
I think if he were like a low 5-star, it'd probably bump. If he were 10 spots higher in the rankings, it would probably bump me up to an A.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if he was the number 5 player nationally, I'd be talking more A
A
plus at that
plus.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I really like Ben Hanks. I think he can make an early impact. That's where. But this is about Jahvari Flowers. Gators land the commitment. It was a great finish to his class. I assume it's done now.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like every time we assume it's done, oh, one more player. Onus the Lace, okay, maybe we don't get him. Onus commits. Flowers ends up reclassifying, and it's like, oh, it's probably Miami. Miami wasn't even on the graphic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I assume they were in contention. They got the last official visit, but they weren't on the graphic, and he ends up committing to the Gators. Seems like Notre Dame was the bigger challenger here for Flowers. Not surprising, considering they just went to the national championship. So, great addition. The Gators now finished the number 7 class in the 247 composite. Any final thoughts on the class you want to get out right now?
No, I mean, I just think, I feel like a broken record, but it was a really nice salvage job by Billy Napier. They turned what was a class that ranked what at its worst, like in the 60s, something like that, 50s.
I think the worst it got was 54.
Okay. So, I mean, a class that ranked outside the top 50 now sitting at number 7 nationally, which, I mean, again, at this point, probably no one's going to change. Like, I think we're pretty locked into that number 7 spot. So, I mean, to me, the recruiting is getting closer to where it needs to be. Certainly probably as good as you can expect it to be with the success they've had on the field. So the excuses are kind of gone now. It's time to raise the performance to another level. So I think on the one hand, really nice work from Napier to close it out. But on the other, now you got to kind of start turning it into success on the field. There's no real excuses anymore.
Absolutely. I'll finish up what I'm saying. Forgot to mention this earlier. 247 has his player comparison. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is obviously someone who's a really good slot corner for Florida. So it's nice to see that. We will see you guys on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. We perfect time after the Final Four and between the championship game if we make it there. But we will see you guys on the next stream. Maybe video if we get another commit. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with some friends. And as always, go Gators.